and welcome back to the NASCAR Weekly Podcast for the first time on my channel for 2020. Welcome to Season 3. This is Danny B from DannyBTalks. We're joined alongside all three of our panels. Wow, we haven't had all four of us here together a long time. We've actually got a fifth member here today. Welcome, NASCAR driver Anthony Alfredo. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
I'm happy to be here. I appreciate your guys' time and inviting me on the show.
Absolutely. So, Anthony, we're happy you're here with us today. We've got a lot of great young NASCAR fans who watch this show really often. Just get right down into it. You have a great opportunity coming up with Richard Childress Racing this year. What are you looking forward to most about this year?
That's a great question. It's really no simple answer. So much to be excited about. I think I've got the best people around me, the best equipment around me, and I'm with the most iconic team in the sport. So it's a huge opportunity for me to go make a name for myself. And obviously, like I said, I have the best people and equipment and everything around me, all the tools I need to go be successful and prove myself. So I'm excited about it. It's a blessing to be in the position that I'm in. I'm very fortunate, and I just plan to make the most out of the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Love to hear that. Not only do people know you as a NASCAR driver, but you are the official god, in my opinion, of NASCAR TikTok, of course, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love your TikTok, dude. Just talk about how you got on there and how you're progressing on that platform.
That's a great question as well, because so many people don't realize how different each platform is. And to be successful and growing your brand on each one, you really have to attack them differently. And I've had a lot of fun with that one. I think it's allowed me to kind of be myself and do some fun things that are a little bit different. And it's definitely unique, the style of that platform. I think probably when it first came about, it was a little bit of a younger crowd. And like, I'm a younger guy, but I'm only 20, but there's some really young kids on there. So it was a little bit weird at first. Now it's pretty popular, and it's been fun to try to gain some popularity on there because it's way different than any other platform. It's really been interesting to see how pretty much everyone who follows me on there and comments or likes my posts don't really know me from racing or from my other platforms. So it's been fun. And like I said, just to be original and myself and just post some fun stuff.
So I got to ask, because I asked this about everybody who's on TikTok this question. Did you start off like, oh, I want to go on there because it looks fun? Or like, is it just a joke and now you're unironically watching and being this big TikToker?
I definitely actually wanted to go on there because I saw it started blowing up and I'm like, that looks fun. It's something different. And that's what I was interested in. I'm always about new things and different things. So that's kind of what got me into it. And I was looking and trying to figure out what people want to see. Originally, I was kind of posting some pretty basic stuff and it wasn't very successful. And not that that's necessarily what I was looking for. Obviously, I just kind of post what I like to do and people who are interested in the same things I am enjoy it. But then I was like, oh man, I got to be more creative. I'm seeing some people do some really cool things, or they're coming up with ideas that I think are fun, and I could, they have the sounds on TikTok, and you could use a sound and overlay on your video. So I'll be like, man, that sound would go perfect with this or something. And that's when I started getting a little bit more creative, and then it kind of took off from there. Now usually some of my posts do pretty well, and I've had a couple go like semi-viral on there, so it's cool.
Nice.
How important do you think is it for other drivers to kind of adapt to social media? I think a lot of drivers are obviously on like Twitter and everything now, the bare minimum, but like you kind of being an early adopter of TikTok, other drivers kind of trying out things like YouTube. How important is that, you think, for drivers this day and age in NASCAR to connect with fans via social media?
It's extremely important for sure because it's so different this day and age. I'm young and I'm a new athlete. I don't really know it any other way. But back in the day, athletes were pretty much known for their craft and only their crafts. And what I mean by that is NFL players or baseball players or NASCAR drivers, they pretty much only had to worry about doing their thing and not really a big presence on social media. We saw it with Dale Jr. towards the end of his career, the last 4 or 5 years. He got really big on social media and posting and sharing some insight about his life and such. And it was never really like that in the past, but now you have to, because your brand is just as important as the things you do on the track, and it adds more value to sponsors and partners and things like that. But it's also just important to build your name and not just your name within a certain industry, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. And kind of spinning off of that one, you talk about different social media platform stuff. Well, other ways that NASCAR is getting the younger audience involved, and it's been a big I want to say controversial topic over the offseason, but maybe not that much. There's been kind of mixed reactions from the world of esports and how it ties into NASCAR. So I just want to gauge, you as a young driver, how do you feel about that versus where some drivers may be entirely against it?
That's a really great question. I'm supportive of anything that's going to bring in new fans and especially the younger crowd, because NASCAR's in a really unique position right now, and it really always will be. But I'd say it's every generation, right? Whereas most sports, you see NFL players that I think the average successful career of an NFL player is around 3.5, 4 years average. Some of the really big successful players play for longer than that. And that's not even solely dependent on health. That's just how long they play for, just because of age. And you see a lot of cup drivers now, the peak of their career is in between 30 and 40 sometimes, if they can stay in a cup car for that long, just because experience is so important in our sport. So NASCAR, it puts the current fans in an interesting position because they're going to look for new drivers to become a fan of or root for every week. But that's also where bringing in the younger crowd could be, they're going to be supportive of some of the younger guys and like to see them become cup drivers, and they'll grow with them. I mean, just like my dad, was a big Dale Earnhardt fan, and Dale Earnhardt passed away when I was 2 years old. So I don't remember watching him at all. And I wish I did, obviously. But I think that's kind of the situation it's in, bringing in this younger crowd and being able to grow together with the drivers would be beneficial to the sport.
Yeah, sorry about that. My whole Zoom meeting thing was frozen for a second. Was trying to get that figured out. All right, now that I'm back, let's get back to the racing side of things. So you're entering your first season, driving for RCR in the Xfinity Series for a select number of races with Myatt Snyder in the 21 ride. Just talk about your expectations for the 2020 season. What should we expect from you performance-wise?
That's a really awesome question because I have pretty high expectations for myself. I honestly am nervous. I could say that just because it's a big step. I really didn't plan on racing the Xfinity Series this year. To be honest, I didn't have any racing plans at all when this opportunity came about. But the reason I'm kind of setting the bar high for myself is because I have, like I said earlier, I have the best equipment, the best guys and knowledge to lean on. So, with the people around me and the tools around me, I believe that if I take full advantage of them, I can go over a pretty successful year. Although my schedule's not out yet, I can say confidently that I'm running the majority of the season in the 21 car. So I think that'll allow me to grow a lot this year. In the beginning of the year, I just want to be consistent, learn as much as I can, and go from there and build on that. And each week just be better, qualify better, race better, finish better, and so on. And hopefully at the end of the year, have won a couple races, and I think we'll be able to start competing pretty early on if all goes well, and we just have this smooth transition. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it's a big step, but if I couldn't be in a better position, I should say, as far as where I'm at right now to make this step.
Earlier you were talking about how you're racing for such an iconic team in RCR. Is there any added pressure with it being RCR, or does it just make it that more exciting moving forward?
A little bit of both. I think there is some pressure just because Tyler Reddick won 6 races in the championship last year, but I'm not going out to win a championship. I'm not points racing because I'm not running all the races. So the difference is, too, I didn't even run a full truck season last year. I only ran 12 races. So they know that. They understand that. They don't expect me to go win my first race. That'd be awesome. And I'm going to try my best to, and I hope it goes really well. But the biggest thing is just going to be to learn. Andy Street will be my crew chief this year, and it's his first year crew chiefing, although he's been with the organization for, I believe, 16 years now as an engineer, and he's done a lot of stuff there. So he knows everybody. He knows his way around a race car, and I'm sure he'll take to the transition really smoothly as well. But for all of us as a team, and him and I specifically, we're just focused on growing together. And if we focus on that, that'll bring us to being more competitive in the end.
You mentioned a second ago that this deal with RCR kind of maybe came out of nowhere. Can you talk a little bit about kind of how it worked out? Because you were in the Truck Series last year, and now you're driving, like you said, for an iconic Xfinity Series team. How did that come together? They come to you. Did you go to them? How did that work out?
So really, I got a phone call that it was an unknown number, and I was actually at school. I go to UNC Charlotte, study engineering, and I was taking an exam when I got this call. So I missed it. I got out of class. I looked at my voicemail, and it was someone from RCR had called. So I called them back, and turns out they were looking for an Xfinity Series driver, and I was in disbelief. I was like, what the heck? I ran 12 truck races this year. I was, nervous. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty big step for me. It's really cool that they're considering me. And, regardless, I don't know if it would work out, but, let's just see what it entails. And sure enough, that conversation on the phone led to an interview at RCR with Richard Childress himself and some of the other people there. That went well. Next thing I know, I was able to sign on for the majority of the season in the number 21 car. So it feels like it happened so fast, and I almost didn't believe it was going to happen just because the position I'm in with partial funding, I don't have enough sponsorship to run a whole year, and I wasn't sure I was going to work out, but they really helped me out and provided me with this opportunity. So I'm thankful for that. I think God put me in this position. This door opened up for me, and I want to take advantage of that. And I mean, my parents are the ones who helped me get into this in the first place. And I'm not much of a contract reader. I don't have a whole lot of experience of that, but my dad does from work. So he kind of helped me understand that and figure out what was right for me, and this was the right opportunity.
That's very nice to hear. And hearing that you go to UNC Charlotte, I don't know how you're able to manage the classes and racing all at the same time. I can't imagine how that must have been. I barely made it through UT, not really doing much on my own.
Yeah, I'm barely making it through college right now, man.
Engineering school, no less. That sounds wild.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been really hard to balance the two. Honestly, this year I was trying to take one or two classes at least. I knew it was going to be tricky with the Xfinity Series schedule, but what happened was the two classes I was in had mandatory attendance other than excused absences, and racing's unfortunately not an excused absence.
Oh, come on. Richard Childress came in there and
I know.
You can get a doctor's excuse. I mean,
yeah, and you only get 3 unexcused, and I missed the first 2. Once for Chevy simulator time, and the second for a meeting. So like, man, there's no way I'm gonna make it. And in 3, you get 10% deducted off your final grade. So
come on!
I know. So I was like, you know what? I know. And you know what? Honestly, since I had to drop them, obviously, in the last few weeks since then, I've been so busy, and I haven't even gotten into the race car yet. So I'm sure once I get to racing, I'm gonna be really glad I made that decision, and I could just focus 100% on racing. I'm halfway through junior year, so I'm pretty far into it. I'm not worried about just taking a semester to focus on my career and see if I can make something of it.
Do you ever get recognized on campus?
I have a handful of times, actually, believe it or not. It was kind of weird to me just because, I don't know, I'm not used to that or anything. I just kind of go there and do my thing, but it's really cool when people do it. And I always try to, like, if I have enough time, just have a conversation, hang out, ask them what they're studying and things like that, just spark a conversation. Because I appreciate people who reach out to me like that, even if it's on social media. It means a lot to me because I just think, I don't think I am. I am just a regular guy. So it means a lot to me if people, recognize what I do, appreciate it. And I don't know. Like I said, I like to show that I'm a normal person, just like doing this, hanging out with you guys, having a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. We really appreciate that. Also, 138 people watch and only 52 likes. Make sure to click the like button, everybody. Really quick, this is the part of the show where we get into some fan questions. So let's go through the chat right now. First question for you, Anthony. There's actually a couple from the same guy. All right, so what's your goals for this season?
So I'd say to start out, my goal is going to be to qualify and finish in the top 10, at least in the first 2 or 3 races. And maybe we could start finishing better than that after the first, 3, if things are going well. I don't know if that's too high or not. I mean, I don't see why we can't go run in the top 10 our first couple races. And like I said, qualifying might be hard to figure out. The Xfinity cars just drive totally different. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know how it's going to go as far as me feeling it out. But from the simulator time I've had so far, they seem to fit my driving style. So if that transitions well, I'm pretty confident that it'll go smoothly and we'll build on it from there. I'd like to go from, top 10s to top 5s and then hopefully competing for wins and, running in the top 3. I think we have a really good opportunity to run up front this year, especially because Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, and Christopher Bell, who that's over 20 wins in a 33 race season, just between the three of them, have moved on to the Cup Series. So other than, there's a lot of seasoned veterans like Justin Allgaier and people like that, and Chase Briscoe, that are going to be challenging to beat. But like I said, I think it opens up the door to run up front every week.
Not to mention you're sharing that car with Mike Snyder, and even though he hasn't got a win yet, he's no slouch by any means. He's a really good driver.
Yeah, I guess like that's the next question somebody else asked. I mean, how is that going to work with you and him racing in the same ride together part time?
That's a great question too. So Myatt actually goes to UNC Charlotte as well, and him and I, he's still in school this semester because his races are, I'm pretty sure his schedule's released, so I don't want to say too much if it's not. But I know that he has said, obviously, he's going to Daytona and running the first few races, and then he doesn't have many till the end of the year. So we're not really stepping in and out, switching on and off throughout the year, really, which is a good thing and a bad thing. In one sense, like, I'm happy I get to, run a lot. But at the same time, it could be interesting, when he's driving and Kaz Grala just announced he's running the car a few times. So the three of us can all work together, right? So say Myatt runs the car one week and I'm running it the next. He might figure something out in the race and go, hey, look, I did this when the car started doing this and it helped, and then I can remember that when I go drive, and we can all share information. So if we're kind of switching on and off, it kind of hurts your personal consistency because you can't run every week, but at the same time, you can all work together. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know him super well. We've been trying to get to know each other. Like I said, he's been in school, so we don't see each other a whole lot. But obviously, we're all going to try to communicate well together and just learn as a group.
Okay, see, just progressing. That's all. That's what it's all about there. All right, so last question from Fist Productions. What is your favorite track to race at or watch?
Oh, this is a tough one. So I'd say to race at is definitely Atlanta. NASCAR needs to go there twice, and I'm so bummed I'm not going there this year, man, because that place would be so fun in an Xfinity car. So I wish I could do that one, but that's probably my favorite track to race at. There's a few others I really like. I love Texas, actually. I can confirm I will be there. But as far as to watch, that's another good question. From a fan perspective, I actually enjoy watching the super speedways. I think they're pretty cool and just exciting because they're one of the few races of the year that the cars are just packed together the entire time. Sometimes they get single file, it gets spread out, but the new package at places like Kansas and Chicagoland and even Atlanta for the Cup cars is pretty fun to watch as well. So I think any of those worn out intermediate tracks, and obviously all the short tracks I love, I think are the best races of the year for a fan.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, so that'll do it for the fan questions. And again, Anthony Alfredo, thank you so much for coming on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Really quick, besides TikTok, where can the fans find you on social media?
So you can follow me. TikTok is actually, that's a unique username. That's fast_pasta because my nickname's Fast Pasta. That's TikTok and that's
underrated
Twitch.
Nickname.
Yeah. So that's TikTok and Twitch. And then all my other social medias are just at Anthony Alfredo, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And that's pretty much it. You can check out all my stuff there, anthonyalfredo.com for any merch and my schedule. Like I said, we should be releasing my schedule tomorrow or Friday. So that'll be out. Stay tuned for that. And subscribe to YouTube also for some behind-the-scenes stuff. I love to vlog and just kind of show an inside look of my life.
Yeah, I'll actually subscribe right now, actually.
His channel link is in the description below, guys. I went ahead and added it there.
I'll sub right now.
Thank you.
I got to ask real quick before you head out. Are you going to be vlogging then at the track during like the weekend in certain spots that are like dead spots, or is that just like something that's off limits when you're racing in the car?
That's a really good question, actually. I'm not sure yet. I did it a couple times when I was running K&N and I enjoyed it, but it was pretty stressful because at the racetrack, I need to focus 100% on obviously my performance and going out there and doing my job. So it's kind of hard to have to worry about that. However, there should be someone with me at those races, to my knowledge as of now, that's capable of helping me film some stuff. So, I think getting some behind the scenes B-roll stuff and making it maybe less of a vlog and kind of just like a cool video would be fun, because I really want to make a video of my first NASCAR Xfinity Series race, but at the same time I'm gonna be so nervous. I don't want to have to worry about like doing a vlog myself, so we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna try to do at least a couple for sure.
Oh, I can't wait to see that, man. That's gonna be awesome.
Sure.
All right, well, that'll do it for this interview, Anthony. Thank you so much for coming on, and good luck this season. And we would definitely love to have you on again sometime this year. Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
No, I appreciate all your guys' time. I really enjoyed it, and we'll definitely do it again.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Good luck this season, man.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you, man.
Good luck.
All right, later.
That was that awkward moment.
And the infamous wait time where there we go. That didn't take long. Hi guys. Yeah, that was actually quick, dude. Usually it feels like 5 or 10 minutes, but anyways,
go follow him on TikTok really quick.
Yeah, most definitely. Everyone, Anthony Alfredo, definitely one of the rising prospects in today's NASCAR. He had a decent season last year in the trucks, and then when I heard he was moving up to RCR, I was like, oh, okay, he's coming up through the ranks. Let's get him on the podcast for sure. And definitely one of the best guests we've had. Really quick, 167 people watching, only 71 likes. Lick the like button, guys. Let's get this podcast up.
I was just about to say that. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I'll take it over from here. We did have one super chat come in during that time from Streamsville Speedway, giving $2. Appreciate that. He said he's qualifying for esports. Wish me luck.
Yeah, that's right.
He said, I love you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He commented on my Instagram post last night, and he was like, "Hey, can you wish me luck?" And I was like, "Good luck, bro." Like, just good luck, man.
Good luck.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to qualify too, man. Me and Danny both are.
Good luck, but not too much luck.
Yeah, good luck, but not too much luck, because I don't want you to beat me. But all right, go ahead.
That's actually the only super chat we've gotten. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's get
the
on.
night's still young.
No, let's get on into the show then, guys. So, what's first on the agenda?
Honestly, something that I saw today, I know it wasn't something that took like the big headlines, but I was looking, and apparently it's either this Thursday, so tomorrow, or next Thursday, but there basically has to be something reached between the city of Nashville and the Fairgrounds Speedway and the MLS stadium. Yep. I guess it's the owner of the MLS team versus the mayor of Nashville on what happens with that whole deal and how they coexist, according to Matt Weaver. Yep. So I guess Danny, you're our on the ground reporter in Nashville. So what's your take on this whole deal?
So I will say this: like I know everything's going full swing still. The Nashville MLS soccer team is set to go this year. But guys, I've been out to the fairgrounds area. There's no construction breaking down. They're not tearing down the Fairgrounds Speedway. And actually, by the Titan Stadium, there's a big yellow billboard with a big giant purple soccer ball and the Nashville Soccer Club logo. And guys, it looks like they might just be planning to play in Nissan Stadium, or maybe if their attendance doesn't quite meet that, they might want to consider playing over at Vanderbilt football stadium.
They're playing at Vanderbilt's football stadium.
It's not bad.
No, but Vanderbilt's just awful. They're just bad in football. They're so bad. Oh man, but no, I mean, we were having this. Me and Jarrett were a little debate before the show, just about I actually watch soccer. I low-key, it's definitely grown on me, but as for Jarrett and Danny B, unfortunately not.
It's more fun to play.
Yeah, it's more fun to play for sure. But we were talking about this, and Jarrett was like, "Oh, watch! If they were able to build this stadium, it would only sell out for a year in the area, and then eventually, people would just stop caring about it." I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about that topic as well? Like, do you agree with Jarrett? I know what Jarrett agrees with. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, I'm not too familiar with Tennessee. I don't know how. That doesn't strike me as a soccer city or soccer state, Mm-hmm. So that's probably why there's a snag here. I'll bet. I saw the report you're talking about, Jared. I didn't have time to read it yet, but it's the indication that I got was that it almost sounds like maybe the mayor of Nashville is a little bit more in Nashville in a NASCAR's camp. It sounds like he really wants there to be a way for them both to coexist. Logistically, that's just a really difficult thing to come to. I think he's wary of going all in on soccer. Even though Major League Soccer and soccer obviously across the world is growing, it's still got ways to go to even catch up to, say, NASCAR, especially as far as attendance for a weekend or for an event. So I can understand why the mayor of Nashville would want a compromise of some sort. And it sounds like they put some sort of ultimatum down where within the next week, we might actually know for sure whether NASCAR could return to the fairgrounds or if it won't. We might finally get like a definite. It's been a lot of like indefinite answers to this point. It's been a lot of, oh, probably not. Oh, but maybe oh, but probably not. Maybe within the next week now. Again, another not super confident thing, but it sounds like we could get a definite answer as far as what their future plans are. So I'd keep an eye on it. It'll be interesting for sure.
There's definitely more happening here now that would lean in the direction of NASCAR having a chance coming back here. Because if you remember at the end of last year, they actually fired like most of the management team there. Now they have new promoters working it, and they went from having no ARCA race to now there is an ARCA race. So there are signs of it looking better. But the thing of Nashville is, like, as far as like sports teams and stuff go. It's weird. Nashville was actually voted like the #1 city like sports team as far as like for some reason, but it's such a fair weather community as far as it goes. I'd say probably like for every major team that we have, like maybe half the city really pays attention to them during the majority of the year. But then when the Predators were in the Stanley Cup, then everyone cared about them.
It feels that's how it usually goes.
When the Titans won the AFC Championship, then everybody cared about them. So I don't. It's such a fair weather community as far as sports go. But the thing, when we brought in the NASCAR award ceremonies here in December, there was actually a lot of people, not just from Nashville. There were people from miles away in Tennessee that came to this. So in my opinion, that was Nashville's perfect test to see what kind of a demand there was for NASCAR stuff in Nashville. And trust me, it was packed. It was packed. There's a big demand for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting times.
It feels like outside of the Tennessee Vols, it seems like just it's basically if you win, you're the talk of the town. If not, they don't really care. But it seems like with NASCAR, it seemed like they rolled out the green carpet basically for Nashville. Brought the whole ceremony there, and like you said, I mean, just on TV, it looked amazingly packed.
Yeah.
Like, so it's one of those things where it's like NASCAR is, I think, firsthand showing them what they can do. I think it's just a matter of getting everybody on board, getting the logistics of it. That's the tough part. Of course, politics ruins everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's definitely a market for it. Like, they just have to get the deal done somehow. They have to find some sort of common ground.
And that's the politics of it behind the scenes of like the city and that's the part that always holds it back. And
the thing is, like, the last time NASCAR raced in Nashville Fairgrounds downtown Nashville, it wasn't anything close to what Nashville is today. And even then, when they were racing at the Super Speedway, well, that was actually all the way out in Lebanon. That's a good drive away from actual Nashville, though. So that didn't really connect to Nashville. And even then, the last time they raced at Nashville Super Speedway, Nashville still wasn't at the level that it is today.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, the whole, that whole Nashville Speedway era, it's like there was a ton of potential behind it, but it just never reached it.
And we saw firsthand, a few times in this past year, just how Nashville as a city, it feels so much more alive. Like when I go into Chicago, it feels like everything's sort of slower, stuck, unless it's like rush hour. But just going around Nashville, it's like there's so many people, there's so much around to do with the city now.
There is.
It would be perfect for what Steve Phelps was talking about laying out for bringing NASCAR to new markets and places to fill up venues. Because it seems, I mean, from being there, it seemed and was pretty damn fun to be in there.
Oh, dude, just being at the track in general, I know nothing was happening that day. There was actually, like, across the street, there was, like, some sort of flea market sale, right, Danny? Like, wasn't there, like, some sort of flea market sale when you took me up there? Like, just being there, just being around the history, the vibe, like, I was like, holy crap, it looks this good in person. I was like, wow. Like, I was just blown away.
The vibe check.
Yeah, pretty much passed the vibe check. Pretty much.
I want to say that,
it was amazing.
Say that was my wedding weekend. When I picked
it
up,
was.
When I picked up Darian from the airport, I was like, lay back and close your eyes. I'm not telling you where we're going.
And I didn't expect it. And then all of a sudden, he just surprised me. And I was just like, what? I was like, no way. It's the Nashville Fairgrounds. This is awesome. So, NASCAR, please return. We would love it if you guys return.
Did you really keep your eyes closed that entire car ride?
I really did. I swear to God, I really did. No, I was like, I was really shocked too. I was like, no way.
This is the man that said Michael Waltrip 15,000 times.
That's true.
I'm gonna keep my eyes closed.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I told him to say Michael Waltrip the entire car ride.
No, I'm not doing that again. Now let's move on. I ain't doing that again.
Well, I see you got a super chat and a super sticker.
Yeah, you got 2 things, Danny.
Wait,
no, the first super chat was funny. I love that one.
I didn't read it, but I saw the super sticker as a microphone.
Yeah.
All right,
A
Interact
Mikey.
2005, $2. What's the halftime?
Dude, why is everyone talking about this halftime show, man?
And people say NASCAR shouldn't have halftime shows. Look at all the buzz it's getting.
I know, man. Like, if
Never
we have a
gonna beat
halftime
Prince.
show.
Prince had the best one ever.
Yeah. No, Prince, without a doubt. Or, well,
And-
no. Yeah, I'd say Prince.
Prince, I mean, he did that in the pouring rain, man. That was
he did. No, he did.
It was awesome.
And we've
That
got,
Super Bowl wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
And we've got Young Sage Gaming, $1.99 with microphone. Appreciate everyone for their support. It goes a long way here on DannyBTalks. Next thing I want to point out, we have a new sponsor in the world of NASCAR's iRacing Series.
Mhm.
Welcome, Coca-Cola. You are now the title sponsor of the iRacing Series.
I wanted to see Carnation's reaction now.
Yeah, I want to see Carnation's reaction. I haven't seen him in the chat, but I'm sure we'll see him later. But no, this is a huge step in the right direction for the whole esports efforts NASCAR is trying to do here. Now, this is great and all, but now I did tweet this out earlier. The next goal should be trying to find the same sponsors for some grassroots racing events, or maybe some, racing leagues that are, definitely, grassroots related. Now, how do we do that? I don't know, but I would definitely love to help out, try and, help out with that effort. Because, just being at the bull ring there, like, I don't know, like short track racing in Vegas, like there's not really much of a large vibe out here, but like there's still a good vibe for it. Like the bull rings, it's the only short track out here. And I mean, just being out there, the atmosphere, the racing, it's so much fun. And, I've seen, I saw NASCAR on NBC's, grassroots thing, at the bull ring too. Like when they were racing at Vegas, they highlighted the bull ring. So I'm like, if you guys want to highlight these tracks that most of America doesn't know, let's try and find some corporations, some sponsors that can help with, grassroots racing. Now, how, I'm not sure, but I think it can happen for sure. I mean, if they can get money for esports, I'm quite sure they can get something, at least something for, actual racing.
Yeah, now that I have if you haven't heard by now, I have a different job. I don't sell cars no more.
Nope, he's gone. Team Toyotas.
I have weekends off, and then I do have weekends off. There's actually some short tracks in Middle Tennessee that I'd like to go see some this summer. There's the Highland Rim Speedway is a big one I've heard about. There's a couple others in the area. Plus, you got the Fairground Speedway. So, plenty more short tracks in the Middle Tennessee area that I would like to see now that I can.
Yeah, most definitely.
See, I think, going back to the main news of it, because I think it said I don't know if I read it wrong, but something about like was it $300,000 or $400,000 was being poured into this?
Yeah,
$300,000. Whereas last year it was like $200,000. So they've upped it by 50%.
I love it.
It's just, it shows how important this is to the sport right now. I see, and left and right, you see people talking about it. We follow Brendan Williams on Twitter, and you see how much buzz this gets. I mean, a few weeks ago, you saw, it literally was starting the war of Zoomer versus Boomer on Twitter. I mean, it really is the new age. I won't even say trend as much as just, I don't know. Great. Of course, now I lose the words for it. But it's really the new age coming in right now. It's pushing forward. It's something that's really going to, I think, open up a lot for a lot of younger fans, that might not have looked at it before, but they can look at iRacing or something and go, hey, I can do that and go for it. I'm excited about this. It's really cool when you see sponsors, maybe that they've been there for a while in the sport in general, but they still are putting more money into different aspects of it. And it shows the good faith that they have. I
think, Coca-Cola is obviously a better title sponsor for this because you run a NASCAR race on NASCAR Heat, iRacing, whatever you prefer. What are you're probably likely you might be thirsty after that.
You might be drink a Coke. Very nice Coke, of course.
You might not need antifreeze and till like months down the road. I might need to buy antifreeze like once or twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, you don't drink antifreeze after playing video games.
So what you're saying is, Danny, more brand recognition with Coke than antifreeze.
Yeah, and
or Pepsi.
Better return on investment.
Or Pepsi. yeah, or Pepsi too. Right.
True.
You know, I want to add. I want to add really quick to what Jarrett was talking about. You know, about the whole. What was it? Zoomers versus Boomers.
Zoomers versus Boomers.
The whole Zoomers versus Boomers argument on NASCAR. Or on esports versus grassroots racing. Like I feel like to a certain extent, like people who race at these local short tracks for real might be a little bit jealous that esports is getting this a ton of traction from this, getting the corporate sponsors. Meanwhile, these guys are working really hard to try and perform at their at the local ranks. But I mean, the problem is though is that that's the thing. Like it's just local. Esports is a broad spectrum. So like I understand why corporations would want to throw themselves at esports than they would grassroots racing, because they want to get eyes on their brand and they feel like that's the way to go. But the thing is though is that I also feel like these short tracks, they need to venture out a little bit more. They need to experiment with with some certain things at their facilities. Like I mean, I know some tracks they'll they like to stream, they like to stream their races, on YouTube and stuff like that. Like I feel like they should move in that direction to get more eyes on their speedways, because at the bull ring, like most of the time there's just the local races happening, but our biggest race of the season is coming up in a couple of weeks when ARCA comes here. So we're going to get a lot of attraction, for the speedway, just from that one race alone. But then what do we do for the other 19 to 20 events, I feel like, tracks need to move in this direction to, better show their, what type of product they do have, at their local tracks, to, be viable for sponsors.
Yeah, and that just all comes down to the track promoters, really. Like on the drivers who partake in short tracks, I get it. That's you take pride in the series you're competing in, but if your track promoters aren't putting it out to be as big of a deal as the esports, well, then that ultimately is falling down on people in charge of it. And I'm not trying to say this in a bad way, and I might wrestle a few feathers here. You're in the short track scene. It's a developmental series meant to develop.
It's a local scene. It's a local scene.
It's a stepping stone into climbing the world of racing. If you want to go into the direction of open wheel racing, if you want to go into the direction of NASCAR, wherever you want to go, it's a stepping stone. And so just like with esports, the first kid who gets a PlayStation is playing on his controller, that's a stepping stone into a different direction. If he ends up investing money and gets a wheel, nice setup, and gets good on NASCAR, he might make the pro league. Or if he goes into the iRacing world, he's still got to climb the ladder. Like the people who are doing competitive esports racing, don't knock them that they're just a bunch of kids. Like
they work hard. They work hard.
They've worked hard, and they are the best of the best, to get there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're not just there, for no reason. But all right, go ahead.
Well, I just think what this ultimately comes down to is esports in general, e-racing, iRacing, etc., is just cheaper than any other type of racing. Like distribution is cheaper because it costs a lot of money to bring a whole like Fox or NBC camera crew out to your local short track to broadcast that to millions of people. Whereas with iRacing, I could literally stream an iRacing event right here, full HD to millions if I wanted to. I mean, we don't have that kind of reach, but the point still stands. And I think that's the biggest difference because it's also cheap to get involved. It's good for the growth of stock car racing and racing in general because you have an avenue for younger racers to pursue now that does not break the bank the same way that buying a whole car, learning how to set it up and everything, and going to local tracks. That's so much more expensive than an iRacing setup. And iRacing is still expensive from a video game standpoint, but ultimately it's just so much more efficient now, esports compared to other local short tracks, that it makes sense to me that someone like Coca-Cola, who's a very forward-thinking brand, would be interested in getting in and expanding esports, expanding its reach. Because now it sounds like with Coca-Cola upping the pot to $300,000, I read something. The winner of the championship, the champion this year, will make $100,000. We'll get that's crazy.
$100,000.
I mean, that's
so much.
They're probably
money.
gonna have more races on TV.
That's life changing.
That's life-changing money. You can go out and buy a brand new car and have money set for
Yeah.
a down payment on a house.
Hell, you can go start a race team. There you go.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
Grassroots for real.
Yeah,
I don't know. It is what it is. It's become a viable alternative to real racing because we've seen it. Skills can translate to a real car at some point. And it's just this day and age. Would you rather spend $10,000 sponsoring a race at your local short track that 500 or let's say 5,000 people attend, or would you rather spend $10,000 sponsoring a team on iRacing that's going to be streamed in front of hundreds of thousands, and it's just less overall, less initial investment. That's the reason esports have blown up as big as they have.
Sometimes it just makes more sense because, like, I can relate to it. If in the world of racing, you could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars into a real race car team, or maybe $3,000 on a computer, and maybe another $1,000 on your sim racing setup. More than that, if you want to, you don't have to, but $4,000 realistically could get you a good sim racing setup. Just like me, I compete in fishing tournaments. Well, I think I figured out for if a company wanted to sponsor me to go competitively fish for a full season in kayak fishing, it'd probably be about $5,000. If a company wanted to go out and sponsor a competitive bass angler in a bass boat tournament, you're looking at probably $60,000 to $100,000.
I mean, just nationally, there's a market for it. There's a market for esports in anything. I'm quite sure pretty soon bass fishing will have some sort of form of esports. Just wait on it. But I understand, the criticism about it, but don't just completely bash, completely bash the esports drivers just because, they're getting these opportunities and stuff. Like, if you're going to, criticize anyone, you can criticize the brands. Don't criticize the people taking it, because if you were in the same situation, you would take it too. Like, come on now. Let's all support each other, man.
And the truth is, anyone who races at their local short track, like in a real race car right now, read the news. Coca-Cola investing $300,000 in iRacing. Go buy yourself a PC and a steering wheel and get in on that. Nothing stopping.
Make it exactly. Make it as a side gig, just don't completely bash it though. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a market, that big for local short tracks. There never is, because it's always going to be local. It's never going to be, worldwide. Like, a lot of these short tracks are not going to be, as big as, let's say, Eldora. You know what I mean? Like, Eldora is, like, honestly, like, isn't Eldora
That's
probably,
the exception.
like, basically, they're the exception to the rule. And then also, another track like, I don't know, Winston-Salem, that track too. It's just not going to happen for everyone. So, my advice to these tracks is that, try and venture out, do some different things to, get new streams of revenue, whether it's, maybe, you might have to take out, some seats here and there, but, or you might have to change up the product, that you do host at the racetrack other than racing, to make that happen. Just try something different.
Yeah, it just depends on the track. Like, my local track from back home where I grew up was Tazewell Speedway, a little 3rd mile, 30-degree banked dirt oval. During like their regular race weekends, they draw in a pretty decent little crowd. But you can still find a seat easily. But their big thing that helped them the most was they started booking the Lucas Oil late model. They started booking World of Outlaw.
Exactly.
They went out on a limb and they got the big races to come in, because when those races come in, oh my gosh,
World of Outlaws fans are the most loyal. One of the most loyal fans.
People are paying $15-$20 and having to sit on a grass hill because there's no more seats.
Hey, that's fine. They just want to be there. They don't have to sit in the stands.
That ain't no problem.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, as long as we get the money.
That's good moments. And it really comes down to also just the fact that, like you said, it is the local level. And if you got people there, people know and recognize, you got to have a draw. And
also, fans, this rests on you. Support your local short tracks. If you love racing that much, go to them.
I just asked that, since I'm blocked by him because I made a meme about him, someone tell me Brian Keselowski's reaction, please.
Wait, reaction to oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The whole esports.
So just let me know on that, and I'll be happy because I support esports. I don't think I can add really too much more other than that. So
esports ready, not esports ready.
And also, just before we get off this topic, I just gotta say one more thing. The biggest argument that I've heard, and makes no sense, is guys saying that sim racing esports was taking away from the short tracks, when in reality, when was the NASCAR Heat Pro League ran on Wednesday nights? When is the iRacing series ran Thursday nights? When is the majority of all the other, developmental series that people ran during the week so that they can enjoy watching racing on the weekend?
Come on, guys. Support those who support racing. Don't bash each other.
All right, I think you got another super chat. I didn't see it though.
More super chats.
Peripherals.
Yes, we did. We have. If I can get it to.
Or I think there was a few stickers too.
Yeah. I have to go. It's not right.
Yeah, everyone's sending stickers to Danny B today. I like it.
Let me scroll up a little bit. We'll cover through some of these a little bit.
Oh no, I'll read one of them out for you. Carl Singleton, thanks for the $2, buddy. For Jarrett, your favorite song by The Who?
Pinball Wizard.
Okay, see, I don't even know who the Who is. Honestly,
we're just talking about Super Bowl halftime shows. Didn't they do it like 10 years ago?
I don't.
Yep.
I guess they did. See, I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys.
That was a weird booking. I feel like.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird? I was looking up previous Super Bowl halftime shows, and I realized something. I definitely know that Kiss played it 1999, and I looked on Wikipedia. They're not even listed. I'm like, what? How do they not have that?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. NASCAR should have some halftime shows, man. Get some buzz going. Imagine getting Shakira performing at halftime of the Daytona 500. Oh, the memes. Be glorious.
Well, maybe not a halftime show. Imagine if they had like a post-race show, like right after the victory lane celebration.
I think they did that at one point.
Basically what Formula One does.
Yeah. Just do what Formula One does, man. I mean, you might as well.
First, we need to start with broadcast. Do whatever the Formula One broadcast does, because that's like the gold standard, in my opinion, of racing broadcast.
Oh, yeah. But, and the intro, too. Oh,
it's amazing. And then I also saw we had a $1 submitted by Rocky2689 and NRF 2005, so I appreciate the $1 from each of you.
Yep, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
All right. Before we get to the halftime of this show, I guess we probably cover one more big topic: next gen testing.
Yep.
It's happening. Jeff Gluck had tweeted out earlier that they were going to do 6 more tests at 6 more tracks for testing. I saw them earlier, but it went off my timeline. But I think one of them's Kansas, and another might be Phoenix. But yeah, so there's going to be 6 more tracks that they're going to be testing on. And then they will start testing with all the teams having their tests around the end of August. So it sounds like everything is about on track to where guys like Steve Phelps and Jim France were saying last year that it would be.
They're definitely squeezing it. I mean, having the teams not really get a chance to test the cars until August. That's near the end of the season. That's the beginning of the final third. That's right before the playoffs. Definitely, they're rushing. It's definitely not as much time as I think the teams would like to have with the car before February 2021. But it does sound like there are that what was once thought of as a pipe dream a year ago that they could get that car ready by 2021. Sounds like they might be able to get that car ready by 2021. It sounds like their next few tests are still going to be single car. I heard they might have 2 cars on track at some of them, and then they'll have multiple cars by August. So I really think at this point, any other tests we see between now and August are kind of pointless at this point. We already know where NASCAR's head's at. Probably 550 horsepower. We know electrical components are coming to the engine in the next 2 years, 3 years. And then the question is just, are they going to, I assume they'll keep the rear diffuser, splitter, spoiler. That's the only other question I think most people are going to have. So that's all I'm looking for in these next few tests. I'm really excited to see when they get all the cars in a group, or when they get several cars in a group, how that looks on the mile and a half. So I think that's what most people want to know. And I'll be honest, I feel like I don't know how to react depending on what we see. If I see basically what we've seen in 2019 and 2020, I don't know if I'll like that more or less than if it looks like 2017 or 2016 or something like that. It's kind of going to be I don't really know. It's going to be a tough one to kind of nail opinions down on, I feel like.
Oh, and I like how, because you're right that they really are squeezing it. And it's like, and then you compare to, they did the same thing with the Gen 6 car. I remember the first team testing was at Charlotte at either the end of November or start of December in 2012. And it's one of those things where it's
Really
like,
that late, yeah.
It's crazy to me how they keep these last 2 times now. They have done this stuff so late in the season to where, teams are either going to compete for a championship or having just competed for a championship and now have to quickly shift their focus or don't have full focus on. Whereas then you look at the COT, for all the hate it got, it was, I always compare it. It's like when you have an A on the Gen 4, you have like a complete A across the board, and then you get Bs. Well, you're going to be disappointed, but it still wasn't as horrible as people were saying. It was still pretty good.
It was good.
But they had, years of testing behind it. Now with this, they're having really just a few months. I guess it's better than a month like last time, but it's still just a few months to get this stuff right. And it's,
I mean, it's keyword though, a few months though. That's the thing. Like, it's better than a month.
Here's just a thought. We've seen some teams like Richard Childress Racing get early access to this car. Could we perhaps see a team like Richard Childress Racing, knowing probably that they're going to be decent but not the greatest this year?
One of their teams is not going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not the point I'm getting to here. I'm saying, like, they know they're not looking for much this year. Perhaps they could be planning well for the
yes.
early access, and they could come out swinging with the new car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like, some of these teams, they want to get in on this, this early Texan for the next gen car, so they can, progress it, a whole lot earlier than, some of the bigger teams like Joe Gibbs and Hendrick can. So,
well, think about Chevy. They're building that, or GM's building that kind of racing center in Charlotte here in the next few months, just in time for the next gen car.
Exactly. It'd be perfect.
It'll definitely, based on, because I think last week when Bob was saying how it'll take about 2 or 3 years to get it completely on its feet. And it's like, you look at that timeline compared to NASCAR's, and that is just in time for when this new engine comes along in around 2022, 2023. I mean, it's like lines up perfectly. So it's like all the fear mongering I had last year about how Chevy isn't carrying, they could pull out. I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
They're going all in with it. But I do think that more so than with the COT and Gen 6, I'm not going to say there's going to be complete turnover. The Gibbs team is going to be good. All the teams that are good right now are going to be good, but there could be a little bit of shifting, I think, from lower tier teams going to maybe middle, or maybe middle going higher going middle. There's going to be some shifting going around. I think there's going to be one team that hits it right off the bat, similar to how Hendrick did in with the COT and Gen 6.
Yeah.
And there's going to be that team that just doesn't hit it right at all and falls off the map.
If I recall correctly, when we switched to Gen 6, we saw Front Row Motorsports, not Furniture Row, Front Row Motorsports. They actually did pretty well when the Gen 6 first started out.
Yeah, I mean, they won Talladega. Yeah, they won Talladega. They had that year too.
Yeah, but even then, they were having good runs.
They were still having good runs.
They came out pretty good right off the bat. And I think that thing was how it's just that the other Ford teams were still getting used to the new vehicle too.
Exactly. So, I feel like these smaller teams also need to take, full advantage, if they can. If NASCAR comes to them and is like, hey, we want to do a test with one of the smaller teams, whether it's, Rick Ware or maybe, Aspire Motorsports, like, can you guys test out this car and stuff, because these smaller teams, they need to get on this stuff as well. They matter too.
And also, one thing we've noticed with this new car is, even though we've seen other drivers like Joey Logano drive this car, some Toyota drivers even, but it's pretty clear it's a Chevy. So Chevy seems to have the early advantage because that's a Chevy car that we see on the track.
I think it's mostly a manufacturer neutral car. Maybe has some Chevy components because
some aspects from Chevy, some aspects from Ford.
It's got the majority body lines from a Camaro when I look at it. So
it low key does look like a Camaro, but I feel
it looks like a Dodge Charger.
Really?
Everyone's been saying yes.
It looks like Jackson
looks
Storm.
like-
That's what we can agree on. It looks like Jackson Storm for sure. That's one thing we can all agree on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think they've done a good job
reference.
having a Chevy and then having a Ford and then a Toyota driver test it so far. I think they're going to keep rotating like that.
Oh yeah, wait, that's right. Jarrett never saw Cars 3. He doesn't get that reference. My bad.
Oh,
I
what?
saved my money. But yeah, I do think this one's going to go off starting with, maybe this is wishful thinking. I don't think so, but I think it's going to start off a lot better than the Gen 6 did, just because it does seem like there has been more time put into it. Whereas the Gen 6 just felt like it was there to appease people who didn't like the boxy COT as much. And then we'll figure out the racing.
The
as
Gen
we
6
go.
was all flash, no substance. That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's like 2014 was like an anomaly for the most part. That was like the only real like perfect, I won't even say perfect because that fall Richmond race, but near perfect season where everything hit right, action, drivers, everything. But no, man, I got to say I'm excited for it. I'm still very cautiously optimistic for it though. But you know, it's fun having a little mystery. You know,
There is,
right
yeah.
on
I'm
the
liking
horizon.
this. Yeah, I'm liking this. I mean, like you said before, Jared, I'm just glad they're not waiting until, like the Gen 6, a month out, 2 months out from the season. I'm
Still
liking it.
3-4 months is still.
I know, but
that's
it's
crunchy,
I know
man.
they should. I know it's pushing it, but I mean, just compared to the Gen 6, I'll take that over anything.
I
I'll
know
take that time frame over that.
I know at the end of last year I was hoping that maybe there was a chance that we could see them just try it out the All-Star race, but now I think that's too much of a stretch.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
No.
If they do, that'd be probably biggest surprise of the year, bar none. To be
They
completely
might
honest.
test certain components like they did last year with the nostrils and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot
Right.
to know.
Yeah, the nostrils. Yeah, dude. No one.
Those are on the next gen car, so that
Yeah.
made the cut.
did they
There's a
make
lot.
like die-cast with the nostrils on it? Like,
Ooh.
No, the Truex. Well, no, it wasn't Truex who won. It was.
Oh, what was it?
It was Larson who won. They had like a decal more or less, but they didn't do it like on the car.
Okay.
let's just have a rock'em sock. Let's see that, because I remember the only thing I remember about that All-Star race is Boyer going rock'em sock'em on Newman. So they should bring one of those with his from that race. I guess. Oh wow, we're actually at the halfway point right now.
Dude, I know it's gone by quick, man.
Really quick,
Yes.
since we can probably get it done pretty quick before we do any of the lightning round or anything. Let's do one of the predictions now. Pole sitter. Who we got?
Wait, for what? Oh, for
Daytona?
500. For 500. Yeah, that's right.
I
Qualifying
forgot.
this weekend.
Qualifying.
Qualifying this weekend. Yeah, no, I didn't
What
know if
else?
well, the Clash, I mean, they do the little
That's
draw
true.
thing. I mean, they do the draw thing.
That's true. We've mostly been talking about the clash. Everyone kind of forgets the
Yo, let's do both
qualifying.
of them. Let's do both of them.
All right.
Who's going to win the draw and the actual poll? There we go.
I mean, the draw. I'll pick anyone.
Yeah, just anyone. Just
William Byron. I
There
don't
you
know.
go. Yeah,
Kurt
there you
Busch.
go. See?
Alex Bowman.
You know what? I'll take Alex Bowman too. Why not?
Oh my
There we go.
god.
We got two
The
Alex
meme
Bowman. So what do you, Danny?
lives.
It's
The
back on.
meme
Alex
lives.
Bowman means back on.
All right.
But
Jimmy Johnson wins the Daytona 500 pole.
I was just
I'm
about to
with
say
ya.
that. Johnson wins the 500 pole. It's destiny.
I'm the
They're,
only.
you know-
I'm the only one who's not saying that. Tyler Reddick gets it.
Oh,
All right.
now that would be
Okay.
interesting. I mean, this fits the whole narrative of NASCAR. Oh, they kind of rigged the polls for the 500, that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know. It's like,
They
worked
might.
out
why
that way.
is it? I mean, it's not that way, but I mean, isn't it a little fishy that
You
just
can make
when-
a case,
I
I
mean-
guess, if you want to think about it. Like, in depth,
just think
but-
about it. 2013, Danica, 2014.
Well, 10 years-
Even
10 years
further back,
after.
2011.
Yep, 10
Yeah,
years after
2011.
Earnhardt.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
fun
sorry.
to think about.
It's fun to think about. I'm not saying it happens, but I'm just saying though,
Yeah.
that's perfect timing. That's really perfect
You
timing.
should walk up
For
to
each-
Mike Helton on pit road. Go, hey Mike, so do you guys fix the 500?
Hey, do y'all
qualifying?
fix the 500 poll? Can you let us know? We won't say anything, but
Confirmed.
I totally don't have my phone microphone on right now. Totally
No.
don't. that'd be. He'd probably just laugh in our face and just walk away.
Just walk away, probably.
I'm
so.
totally not putting this in my vlog, Mike Helton.
No. Why don't we go up to him and ask that? And he's like, "Get
Just
him
be
out
like,
of here. Just get him out
Are
of here."
you sure?
Are you
Let me
sure?
know.
Are you sure you don't?
What if he just
Oh.
asks you it then? Well, sir, who do you want to win the poll? And I want Jimmy Johnson to win the poll.
Yeah, he's
Say
gonna
no
say,
more.
yeah,
He just like
no.
goes,
Yeah.
makes a phone call really quick. Boom, Jimmy wins the poll.
He's like, no, we got it covered. He's gonna win.
He's like, hey, you got that NOS sitting around? Go ahead and put it in Jimmy's car.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but no, the fix is not in NASCAR. Not at all. Not at all.
I can't tell if you're being like just a joke or sarcastic.
Oh no, I'll let the chat decide. They can decide that for themselves.
Eric, did you have something you was trying to say?
Well, yeah, we're at the halfway point. Unfortunately, I am back this week for the first time, but I can only be on for the first hour.
You
I know.
lied. You lied to me.
What? This is
You
exactly
lied
what
to
I
me. You
told
said you were going to be on the whole show. No, he said he was going to be on the whole
show.
No, he didn't say
If you
that.
can,
No, he said
hey,
he was
if Anthony couldn't get a note from Richard Childress to get out of class, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a note from.
He's not. Yeah. No,
So
Yeah,
really
so
quick, who's your 500 or what? Not 500 Clash pick then? At least we can get at least your win pick.
I honestly haven't even thought about it. Who was good last year? I'll go Blaney. He won the most recent super speedway race. I'll say
Blaney.
Blaney.
Say Johnson. Say Johnson.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, anyway, I just want to let the audience know. So I am planning to be back on the podcast pretty much every week for hopefully at least the next few months. We'll see. I don't know. My schedule is going to be pretty wild at some point. So I'm planning to be on the podcast pretty much every week. But unfortunately, with the way my class schedule is, I have a class that starts in about 45 minutes every Wednesday. So I'm probably most weeks only going to be able to be on the first half. But that's fun because if we have guests, it can be part of the interview and everything like that. But some weeks I'll be able to be on the full episode. So I just want to say, thanks, guys, for letting me kind of dive in and dive out as is. I know my schedule's been super crazy, but I always keep up and watch you guys. You guys last week with Bobby Mine was really good. So, but yeah, so I just want to let everyone know my whole situation so people don't question why I'm always talking.
Summertime will be here before you know it, and things will be back to normal. I'm finally off there. Not week, so.
Yeah, damn,
sure,
that's right. Yeah, it's been a while since we had all four of us on here again. But hey, at least you're back. I missed you, man. I missed you so much.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. We're gonna see each other at the track a whole bunch this year as well. I know.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that West Coast swing. I'll be there for maybe all three races. You guys are gonna be at the Daytona 500, or is that not public yet? Am I allowed to say that?
No. We'll be there. We'll be there.
We've already been saying on Twitter and everything, so
we're going.
All right, good.
We're
good.
going
All right,
to Daytona, guys.
Yeah.
So we'll be all over the place. Y'all will see us plenty, and we'll see each other plenty. But thanks for having me on, guys. I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
All right, catch you later, man.
Yeah.
Have a good class.
And
Have
for
a
that
good show, guys.
awkward period where it takes forever to get
It
home.
takes forever. Yeah, it's not taking as long this time.
So we're getting Zoom under control. So I guess the lightning round won't actually be too much this week. I dropped my pencil, so now I have a pen.
And you know what time it is. And once again, we got, drum roll please, the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
And there's the lightning. There's the lightning right there.
There you go.
we hear thunder in the background from Danny's space. Okay, so I saw this, and I hadn't been keeping up on it because I'm not. I'm not IDK player. It's not my job to keep up on video games. Tony Stewart is coming out with a sprint car racing video game.
Oh, I can't. I was so surprised this morning. I had no words. I couldn't believe it.
So I believe IDK Player has a video on that. So after the podcast, if you want to know more about that, check that out.
Go watch it.
We shout our friends out.
It's so weird. Like, we heard nothing about this, and all of a sudden, boom, here it is, and it releases in a few days. Like, that's.
And I'm
Right.
like, oh, that's perfect.
It's perfect, right? With the Hall of Fame announcement.
Keep something like that down low, and it's a big surprise. And it's like, I want to play it because
Tony Stewart.
I've been saying it for a long time. There needs to be a dirt track game, for these new next gen video games. And for a while, there was a project being done by Big Ant Studios, but it just never got funded. Now this one's been funded.
And not some fictional series, actual dirt tracks and, actual, dirt cars and drivers, that sort of thing. And also, shout out to Tony Stewart, man. He's a smart businessman. He's cashing in on the, the whole Hall of Fame hype here. So, yeah.
Also, this week, the Dale Jr. download is starting back up. They've already recorded an episode and have a bunch of guests lined up. Except they need to learn about not telling their first 5 guests to start the year in a Twitter post. Say it live.
What?
they literally, Junior's like walking around, like recording on Twitter. He's like, so Mike Davis is here. And Mike Davis is like, yeah, so we planned our first 5 guests. We got, and this person, Skinner, is going to be on. And
what? No, you should have done a video. What are you doing? There was that's a missed opportunity. That's a missed opportunity there.
But anyway.
By the way, I just want to put this out here. Thank you to Michael Jensen. We got $5 super chat from him.
Woo!
And
Thanks, man.
He brings up a really nice point. What do you think about DNQ for the Daytona 500? 3 drivers will miss the race. Drivers that don't qualify on time. Justin
Good.
Haley, Reed Sorensen, Chad Fincham, JJ Yaley, Brennan Gaughan, Timmy Hill, and Daniel Suarez.
Make sure
Ooh,
Beard
so-
Racing makes it, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, so the super chat went away. I was about to click on it, but yeah, no, the duels will actually mean something this year, guys. So I mean, get hyped for that. People are gonna go home. Well, I don't know if I want to cheer about that. It's like, I don't know if I want to necessarily cheer about that.
You're out of a job for the weekend.
Yeah.
Woo!
But this brings up an interesting, like, what if someone like a Daniel Suarez misses the race?
Dude, I mean, that's
would
gonna
suck.
be. I mean, that would suck. And it would be sort of shocking just because, Suarez was a Cup Series regular for a very long time. But, I mean, he just announced this whole deal, recently. So
after the lightning round.
Yeah, so my bad.
This is-
Sorry.
I always wanna
I
get
always
this
forget.
done.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
forget. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Darian's
I love
theme
talking.
song in life would be Led Zeppelin's Ramble On.
Dude, I love talking. You know this.
Yeah, I know.
We all do.
Yeah.
Danny, tell him to be quiet next time we're in the car since he'll listen to you.
I can't.
Anyway, NASCAR's YouTube channel has really been turning it up recently. They've been releasing different HD races and really high quality races from the past, different ones from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Now they're doing Daytona 500s. Now, I left a comment on there this past week. Top voted comment. Thank you all so much for that. But basically being like, okay, so when are we getting this 2005 Daytona 500 up? And they go, 2004 Daytona 500, Thursday, so tomorrow. Monday, they're going to be doing a premiere of the 2005 Daytona 500. It's going to be in the same ratio, broadcast ratio it was in at the time. Was it 16:9 at the time? I can't remember what it was at the time. But they're doing it basically as we saw it live. So be sure to watch that because hopefully I'm not in class for that one. If I'm in class for that one, I'm going to be multitasking because I'm going to want to be in the chat for that premiere. But I love it. I love it. It's perfect. I swear, because people are now asking me, Jarrett, do you know the people that run the YouTube account? Maybe. I don't know who they are, so maybe I do. I probably don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know anything, man.
Anyway, but yes, please stop sending me requests for races that I can ask them because I don't know who they are.
I don't know. We don't know.
Also, this guy's won a lot in his career, but this guy took a big L this weekend. Jeff Gordon, when he lost a race to
it was Gronk. It was Gronkowski. Yeah.
So Jeff Gordon lost a race to the biggest frat boy in the United States. Anyway, so he'll have to come out of retirement. Yay. And then Jeff Gordon also lost a bet to Clint Boyer about the Kansas City Chiefs, which means that he's going to have to wear a Chiefs jersey live. But it's cool because the Chiefs fans are probably some of the most chill fans you'll ever meet.
Oh, yeah.
Also, some sad news this past week, the death of John Andretti. I think we all wish our biggest condolences to the Andretti family. It just sucks.
Yeah,
you can't say much.
I'm just glad.
I'm tired of all these deaths. It's been a bad
Cancer
sucks. I'm glad January it's officially over with. Let's just move on.
Cancer sucks.
R.I.P. to John Andretti, man.
And then one last big thing for the lightning round is the Daytona 500 is trending towards having a sellout. We've contributed to that. But it's dying. The sport is dying.
It's dying. I thought that whole narrative ended in like 2018. I guess not.
Anyway, that was the lightning round, and now I got something else we can start up after the lightning round. If Darian knows your thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And once again, that'll do it for another edition of the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Do the little cue the lightning round. Okay.
And now time for some
back to the show.
As my favorite Vikings channel likes to say, some reckless speculation. There's a rumor of Brad Keselowski going again. Rumor. That's right, it's reckless speculation. Reckless speculation. Let's start that as a thing. If somebody brings rumors up, Brad Keselowski to the 48. What truth do we have in this? I mean, it's an interesting concept to think about.
He is in the contract here. Him and Blaney both are.
But everyone's in a contract.
Yeah, everyone's in a contract.
There's like 4 people that are good to go for 2021.
Yeah,
crazy.
There's a lot of contracts set to expire after this season. Now, Brad Keselowski to the 48. That might be reaching a little bit to me just because, Brad's been with Penske for so many years. I feel like, he's pretty satisfied there. He's starting to expand his family a little bit there. I'm sure he wants some security in his life as well when it comes to where his money's coming from and that sort of thing. So like I feel like he's not really gonna go searching really far for a ride. I feel like him and Penske will work something out.
But the counter argument is so much has changed from this year. He's about Paul Wolf for the first time since joining the Cup Series, and now even though they're doing one race, pretty much Miller Lite's gone.
Yeah, they're gone, and that's so weird. And you said they're only doing one race this year, correct?
The Coke 600. Doing.
Damn, the two is gonna look weird without the Miller Lite scheme just being the primary. I mean,
the logo isn't even on like the car.
What? Then what's on it?
Yeah.
Others.
No. I'm saying at the
like,
Coke 600, Miller Lite will be, but it's not even there.
Oh, damn. So, they were just like, no, we're only going to do one race. That's it.
Like they're literally saying, here's your money. We're going to save the rest of this for a Super Bowl ad.
We're out.
Because that's what Tide did, so.
Yeah, like I'm heading out here, but no, I feel like it's a possibility though, for sure. It's not out of the realm of impossible. So I mean, I could see it happen. I mean, a lot would have to happen, for this whole deal to start rolling, but I could see it happening. And plus, remember, I mean, Keselowski was supposed to race for Hendrick a long time ago.
Yeah, but there's a big falling out there is a problem.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. I don't know if they prepared that relationship.
He was supposed to get the GoDaddy sponsorship, but then Danica happened, and then Martin happened.
Yeah,
Danica ruined it.
Yeah, so basically Danica ruined
and Martin.
Martin too.
That was the big one that I guess I'm not gonna, for no reason, blame Danica here. It was more Martin signing on for another year that was unexpected. 2009 was supposed to be the fifth last year. As Martin became the Brett Favre of NASCAR. Oh my God. But
it was longer than Mark. It was longer than Brett Favre. So.
Yeah, way longer. I mean, do you think Hendrick Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you think Hendrick, Rick Hendrick regrets that decision not, signing?
He got Casey Kane out of it.
I don't think he regrets it. Yeah, he did get Casey Kane at probably the prime of his career.
Okay, so it would be one thing if Keselowski was like a 3-time champion, right? But like, I mean, just he does have the one championship, so it's like, you missed it.
How many does Hendrick have? And
exactly.
Let's be honest. In that time from 2011 to, 2010, we should say, from 2010 to now, he has had, a consistently championship contending car every year, either the 48 or the 9. The 24 with Gordon was championship contender most years, as was the 88 while he was with Letarte in the first year with Ives. Kane was up there at different points. So it's like Hendrick wasn't hurting. I don't think I'll say this. I don't think Hendrick would have, stopped the fall if Keselowski was there the whole time. But that's my. I honestly, I don't think he's going to end up there just because of the falling out.
In the end, that time frame, I think Hendrick came out better because Keselowski got one championship and a nationwide championship in 2010. But what did Hendrick get? He got
3.
09, 2010, 2013.
Well, no, he was with Hendrick in 09.
No, okay, yeah, no, okay. So for 2010, then he got 3 more championships with Jimmy. He got another Daytona. He got 2 more.
Two Daytona
500s. He got multiple wins of Dale Earnhardt Jr., multiple wins of Jimmy Johnson, multiple wins of Jeff Gordon, multiple wins with
Casey Kane, Chase.
Wins from Chase, wins from Alex Bowman. So, I mean, I think in the end, Hendrick came out just fine. And even though he probably got a lot of skepticism for letting his franchise driver go in, look at where he's at today. He's got 3 franchise drivers.
Oh, I'd say 2. I'm not going to say who they are.
I know y'all doubt me, but who's one of 2 of those 3 have wins, and who's the one that doesn't?
Alex Bowman had the best average finish of the Hendrick drivers last year.
And
he did.
And he's made it to the top 12 his first 2 years with them. So
he did. We'll see. See if he progresses more. Hopefully.
But we'll just have to see how it all shakes out over time. But back to, I guess we can go to call it, the real stories, I guess. Well, let's just talk about the Hall. So we have the Hall of Fame announcement, and we have the announcement. I saw Bob Pockris tweet out. He was the first one I saw of them moving from 5 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think of the Hall?
Well, first things first, no guys, no NASCAR to YouTubers will be in it. That's guaranteed. Number one. Number two, no way.
I want to address that real quick. Yeah, no. None of us are probably ever going to make in NASCAR Hall of Fame.
I am, of course.
However, though,
I can't wait for people to freak out over that.
I know.
Comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
However, though, I would love to see, probably 30 years down the road, they have the Squire Hall Award for Media Excellence in NASCAR. I'd love to see a YouTuber get that one day.
Yeah, there you go. Give us a slap, or Eric, or one of us. I don't know, whoever, man.
Somebody can eventually get that one.
Yeah, exactly. See,
so
it's not impossible. Carnation's beans were so spectacular for 30 plus years. You're in the Hall, Carnation.
Dude, he should start a Hall of Memes.
Hall of Memes. There you go, man.
Carnation. But going back to the stuff about the Hall, 5 to 3, in my opinion, is perfect. I think we were talking about this last year, that they put too many people every year in the Hall. And at this point, with the people you've put in now, I think it's time to scale back, because what they're doing now is, I believe, 2 different people in a group of 10 will be voted in. Those people basically have had their careers from like 60 years back and on up. And then 1 Pioneer Hall of Famer, which is 60 years on back. So I think that's the perfect way to do it. It makes it so much more difficult now to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Whereas you just sort of shuffle through people, and all of a sudden some driver will just show up off the, out of the blue from retiring, and it's like, oh, well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer because, well, we don't really have anybody else to put in, kind of thing. And that's I think the difficulty of the Hall, the way it was, is they were going to run into that 20 years from now, where somebody retires and then
they automatically go in the Hall.
They automatically go in. I know there's been some debate on Dale Jr. being a first ballot. I don't think he'll be a first ballot under this.
Not
this. I honestly think he would have under the old one, but I think under this format of it, he will be a Hall of Famer, but it's not going to be first ballot. I can't wait for all the junior haters to start. Oh, he doesn't deserve to. All that crap. It's the same stuff with the same people. If you're not somebody that has 50 or more wins, apparently you suck in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, the Hall of Fame, and it's a broad spectrum. I mean, you can be a Hall of Famer in trucks, Xfinity, or Cup, or as a personnel.
I'm curious when Matt Kenseth's going to get in, because that dude should. I think that dude is a.
He should have been in. He should have. I mean, honestly, he should have been. Oh. Does he meet the requirements, or
he has to be out a certain amount of time? And he retired. Right. His last race is over a year after.
That's right.
He stuck around longer. Now
that's right. Yeah.
He managed to make Roush look competitive.
Technically, Dale Jr. still races once a year.
Yeah, so
I don't know how I don't know.
It's very confusing. It's very confusing because Junior still races from time to time.
Don't question the process.
Yeah, apparently, no, I'm questioning the hell out of this.
I know, I am too.
I feel you. But
that's what I've seen. Though.
But my take on this is, I think it's the right move. I had said on the podcast last year that I felt like the NASCAR Hall of Fame was becoming more of like the Basketball Hall of Fame, where it's just so easy to get in. For example, Dwight Howard has had a pretty successful NBA career, and he's considered a Hall of Famer. Some people consider him a Hall of Famer, and then some don't. Now, that's, whoever's
From when I was watching, he never was the top guy.
Exactly. He was never the top guy, but he was always consistent. And I feel like that was the same. I feel like that was the same in NASCAR for quite some time. You didn't have to, you didn't have to set the world on fire, but as long as you were consistent, you could make it in no problem. Now with this process, the best of the very best will be selected year in and year out. And plus, eventually, we had talked about this last year, we were going to run out of inductees. We were just going to start inducting people who are, still driving and stuff. That's YouTubers. YouTubers. The day you induct YouTubers, that's it. It's over.
Harry Yard, the year is 2032. We've got Eric Estep, Danny B, Gray Galding, And yeah, they're going into Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and why? Oh, we ran out of people to put in, so we're just putting in anybody at this point. I think NASCAR maybe realized. Yeah, I feel like NASCAR realized that. Not to that exact example, but something similar to that happening, and they made the change now.
I love that we can just go back and laugh at ourselves now and make a meme out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, guys, get on the meme. Get on the meme now. Have the NASCAR Hall of Fame meme, start trending again. That's fun.
It still keeps going on. I see Reddit put it all the time.
Yep,
when they're not taking my comments down. Anyway, some other controversies have come this week. They're all not, in my opinion, this is all non-controversies. Starting off with the Super Bowl ads, and they aren't doing enough. It's like, what? We were complaining last year that they weren't doing enough when they weren't doing enough. So they put half-assed effort into it, and that's not a cuss word. Still keeping my cussing abstinence. They put a I won't say half-assed. It was half-baked. I don't know. It was half-baked. It wasn't the greatest ad, but it's at the same time, it's a Daytona 500 ad for the
It's
Super
an ad.
It's Fox Sports. They made something for it.
Look, at least they're making something that they can show to a national-wide audience. Be happy.
They didn't just make something. I saw a Daytona 500 ad like 4 or 5 times. They had the one that was the more recognizable one where the cars were on the track, but then they had multiple promotions for it. Guys, I say on average it costs $5 million for a Super Bowl ad. NASCAR was willing to spend that much.
He showed 5 times. Or 4, excuse me.
Well, to be fair, I mean, with it being on Fox Sports too, they probably got a discount.
Yeah. They got a discount. Oh yeah, no, they got a discount. They got a little discount going.
I think those couple over $10 billion or so might have given a little bit of a discount. For the Super Bowl ads. But I mean, it was an interesting stat. I saw it. I want to say I saw it on Twitter or I saw it on Reddit, one of the two. But that basically when the Daytona 500 is on Fox after Fox had the Super Bowl, the ratings go up a lot and the viewership usually goes up about 1 million. So I want to ask, is that trend something that you think is going to continue? Or is it something that, might not with the way that because you see the same thing too with NBC in 2006 with the Olympics being on right before the 500 saw a big boost in viewership compared to the year before and compared to the previous one. So I guess do we get over the 10 million mark again viewership wise? We were at 9.3 I believe last year.
This has the potential to to reach that 10 million mark. I think this year's does. I mean, there's a whole lot of hype heading into the season. There's a lot of familiar faces in different places. There was a lot of changes within the sport. I feel like fans will we'll get some of the casual viewers, I guess, and people who have never watched the sport before. I mean, even now, I was getting questions today, even in class, about the 500, just because they know about that I'm a huge NASCAR fan and stuff. I feel like the efforts with Barstool Sports.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. We'll talk about them. We'll get to them. With them has really helped out a lot. I mean, a lot of younger fans have definitely. I mean, they're not watching every single race, but at least they know it exists. That's fine. That's all I want. Just give us, the tiniest shred of acknowledgement, and I'll be fine. But I feel like this is a trend that will definitely continue.
Yeah, a lot of people who don't usually watch NASCAR will be turning into this one. A lot of my old co-workers at Beam and Toyota, they knew about my YouTube channel, so they kind of started to pay attention to it more just because they knew me and they knew something that I did. But one of them in particular, John, he actually texted me because I guess he likes to occasionally, just bet on sports and stuff like that. I don't do that. But he asked me.
I do.
He's like, hey, Danny, can you give me, some predictions? And I'm like, well, first of all, this is a very unpredictable race. But if I had to pick 4, I would say you got Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano as good favorites to win. And I said, if you want a good long shot, who I think could be good just because he has so much momentum coming from the offseason, I say Kyle Larson, because his betting odds would get him a lot of money if he won it.
Hey, I'm putting some money on Quinn Houff, though. He has the biggest payout. If he ends up doing something, he'll have the biggest payout. I promise you.
You'll be praying for rain, won't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Just hoping.
Well, long forecast out. It looked like the 500 weekend was going to be beautiful. Again, it's Florida, so it's going to rain every day.
Yeah,
it's just a matter
probably.
of when.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so that's looking good. But no, I think that it's going to top that. I think it'll get around or top it. I think it's going to be more than last year. I'm just wondering how much more, seeing how the audience over the time has diminished a bit.
Mhm.
But, who knows? I would love to see it. I would love to do what we did last year, except for the whole season and overall about it increasing. Because it's like increasing or flat for 30 weeks. And then the last 6 weeks just said, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't didn't end well, but you know what? We have a ton of momentum heading into this season, so I can see it hitting 10 million, no problem.
Yeah,
we'll see.
absolutely.
And also, Danny B mod Littell. He's not modded. Come on, man.
That is a shame.
Yeah. Jake said hashtag mod him.
Free
mod
Littell.
Yes. Oh man,
good
to see you, man.
He needs to be modded. I guess really we only have before picks. Seeing how it was a relatively slower week. Oh, really quick. I saw this in the chat before I forget. So there's a poll going on right now on Twitter, not on my channel, but on Twitter. Polls will be starting next week after the Clash. No. So there was a poll on Twitter about, or is it Twitter or YouTube? One or two. I don't know.
It's something. It's on something.
Somewhere on NASCAR's social media for who they're going to ride shotgun with for a live stream of the Daytona 500 on NASCAR's YouTube channel. We all know it's coming, Jimmy Johnson. I mean, he had like 49% when I voted for him. Yeah. Also, it says don't mod Roots though.
More Roots. I love how you put the A.
It's spelled Roots. Hey, thanks for $2.
I love it.
But we know who he's going to root for that.
Yeah.
Poll.
Jemai.
He'll be watching Jemai on YouTube. No, but we all know who it is. But if you want to vote for, I think it was Kevin Harvick or Truex or Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch, you have the option to have a solidarity vote.
There you go.
But yeah, so I want to say that before I forgot. Also, the other controversy, which isn't as much of it's kind of a controversy, but I can see where people are coming from with it. Barstool, what is it, Darian?
Sports! Well, sports, but sports!
Is putting more money into the sport, talking about sponsoring different cars for different races. Dave Portnoy is going to be at the 500, and maybe the Martinsville night race is what I saw. He'll be at select races, bigger races. Hopefully we'll see him.
Maybe he can save Paul Menard a little bit of money.
Maybe. A little bit.
For one race, so it doesn't have to get mad.
Yeah, come on. You got this.
We've got the...
appreciate the $4 there, Brendan. Ready for
appreciate it, bro.
We've got this big backlash on Twitter and on social media and all over about Barstool. I'm behind it all the way, and I think I made a lot of people, including woke Twitter, pretty mad when I said the fake outrage, because it's a small amount of people, but it's so much stuff, and it's and they think that because there's bad things that went on with Barstool. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. Yeah. But at the same time, people aren't going after Pat McAfee. They're not going after him. They're not and I think if they had a certain racing division and it wasn't just Dave Portnoy tied with it, I don't think we would see this much backlash, but it's one of those things where it's they shouldn't be in the sport. And I just keep thinking, you want sponsors, you get new sponsors, and you say, no, not that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't please everybody, and especially NASCAR fans in this case. I mean, no. Guys, there's so much other stuff happening in the world, and you just choose to voice your outrage over
I don't follow them. I don't follow them, but I learned more about my college culture from just going to NIU. I learned more about that from the Barstool NIU account than I did from actually doing anything there. I've some of the best takes and funniest different takes on social media and sports I've found that have gotten me to pay attention to some stuff that I wouldn't have otherwise. I think at one point I was watching rugby and I put it in one of our chats that, oh my God, this is awesome, because I just saw it and I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. It's one of those things that it's not going to be something that's going to completely change this fandom of NASCAR, but it's something that's going to be another open door along with ESports and along with a lot of other different aspects that NASCAR is doing with their online culture that's going to be opening the door out for more people to get in that are around our age. I don't think it's going to change the demographics completely, but it's just this deal. I understand why people will come in and be like, I'm gonna stay away from the fans. I'll just watch on my own kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's I guess where I'm going with it, because it's just at this point it's just annoying.
It's so annoying. Like, and I mean, it's been going on since last year, since they first started covering NASCAR. I mean, at what point, like, get over it. They're here to stay, guys. So
I just love the fact that I'm pissed
like,
off
why
with
is this?
Twitter.
I mean, like, why is this even a discuss? Like, why is this even a thing?
Because it always has to be the same way that the halftime show became, the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of the halftime show. I will openly say it. I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, I understand why. But I was not as big of a fan of the halftime show. I get that people were for various reasons, but I wasn't. But at the same time, I'm not going to go around and tweet a million things. I might like a few things, but I'm not going to tweet a million things about how horrible it is. And this is horrible for the
raise your kids, folks. Actually, raise your kids, folks. You don't want them to watch something. Just turn it off. That's it.
Turn off the TV.
Yeah.
Just
or say go in the effing room until it turns off.
Yeah. But there always has to be some kind of controversy.
Always something.
At this point, I'm used to it, and I just want to dump some gas.
It's just funny. Yeah. It's just
my tweets about Barstool were literally mostly meant just to dump gasoline on the fire, and I knew which kind of gasoline I had to use with it,
and it worked.
It
does.
I don't know, man.
It does.
You might as
every
well just
time.
have fun with it, because at the end of the day, they're going to be doing what they want to do. They don't care about what one individual thinks or is mad about, so just turn off the phone, turn off the computer, TV, whatever. If you don't like something, watch something else. It's not the end of the world.
Hey, holler at your boys though, Barstool. Come hire us. We'll run the racing part. We'll help you guys out. Let's do it.
We'll be the Pat McAfee's of NASCAR.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine with me. Let's do it.
Hall of Fame, Merle Worthy.
Yep. Hall of Fame.
So I do want to say thank you to the other White Castle for $2 here, and he actually had an interesting thing here. I don't know if you guys have confirmed.
I just saw that.
Did you guys hear the F1 Chinese GP got canceled?
Yeah, I just saw that. I've been watching more of it over the past couple of years, and honestly, the Chinese Grand Prix, it's kind of boring just because they have that long straightaway there, and then there's not really many passing options. I mean, there have been exciting moments there, but I mean, if they can replace it with something better, then I'm all for it. But sorry for the people of China. They won't get to see F1 this year.
There's a challenge.
Oh gosh, Darian, for $5, appreciate that. If Johnson wins the 500 or the Clash, Darian has to say Jimmy Johnson 48,000 times equal punishment.
All right, bet. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I would do it for the 500.
Yeah, no.
It's a 500. I'd do it.
He's saying the 500 or Clash. I mean, he gonna wreck someone again for a Clash.
Well, no. Wait, is he saying? He's saying. Oh,
the Clash isn't. I don't think the Clash is worth it enough. The
it's
500
not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, the 500. If Jimmy Johnson,
what if we raced each other on it? Who could get it done quicker?
Who can get it done quick? No, we should, bro. We should.
Dylan, if he wins at 500, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Virtual handshake.
Yeah.
We'll
virtual handshake.
Virtual handshake.
Virtual handshake.
Here's what we'll do.
That looks so wrong.
I know.
Okay.
I did not think that through.
If Jimmy Johnson wins the Daytona 500, we will get in on a BS stream on Jarrett's channel, and we will say Jimmy Johnson 48,000 times.
We'll alternate.
Yeah, we'll alternate. Yay! I don't gotta do it by myself. Okay, we'll do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
It's gonna be the most boring stream ever because I'll just be sitting there click.
We can do it on a Saturday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah. If he wins, he has to win though.
He's got to win.
No, not
he wins
a
championship. We should do it 480,000 times.
Hey, if Kurt Busch,
a million.
If
400 million.
If Kurt Busch wins the Daytona 500, we should say Kurt Busch one time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, let's go.
BS stream. Just have everyone come in to say Kurt Busch one time.
Kurt Busch, and then just end it right there.
It'll be like the I am Spartacus one, except it's everyone going Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch.
We got to say it like the Busch beer ad to be like Kurt Busch.
Right. Oh, Blue Jimmy 48 fan, $2. Thanks, man. Says sign me up for that challenge.
I'm sure he wants to see that, man.
Yeah, he'll love it. He'll love it.
Speaking of challenges, this guy's been doing pretty good in the heat qualifiers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Blue Jimmy.
Oh, Blue Jimmy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've seen your stuff, Blue Jimmy. It is so.
Also, I'll talk to these two after, but I have actually some kind of plan for something in March for NASCAR heat. thing.
Ooh.
That I'll
Wait,
elaborate on it.
Give me a little
with
hint.
time.
Give me a little hint.
Daytona and Talladega.
Oh, is it like a race?
Well, you'll see. Let's just get to the picks now.
Okay, let's get to the picks now. Let's go. Let's do it.
Into the picks.
So, the Clash is this week. Do we all know who is in the Clash at least?
I know there's 18 drivers.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
I took a screenshot of my phone. I'll go to it.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. So, who is going to suck?
Oh, that's Jimmy Johnson for sure. He's going to suck. Well, hear me out. It's just for the Clash because he does have some payback coming. He did wreck the field to win that. So, I mean, in an
Isn't the
exhibition
guy
race.
he wrecked retired?
No, but he wrecked the entire field, though. He wrecked other cars, though,
Okay.
too. So,
All right.
Yeah,
somebody
that
might
went
come
over
back
your
at him.
head. Yes, he did, Jarrett.
Yeah.
So, Darian has Jimmy Johnson. I'll do mine real quick. My pick for who's going to suck is somebody who seems to have, for the most part, bad luck in plate races. I'm going William Byron. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think he's seems like a pretty cool dude after this week.
Yeah.
And in general, but I don't think that this is going to be his to win. Now watch, he'll win. This is the thing that sucks, and this is why I hate picking plate tracks, and I usually pick out of a hat, is because you don't know.
Yeah,
I'll pick out of a hat for the 500. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Let's
Hey, you
see.
can. Yeah, you can even do it at the house if you want. We can
Well,
all
no,
just put a hat.
we're not gonna. We're
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Never mind.
I'll pick out of a
hat.
hat. I'll have the
All
hat ready and good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going William Byron. William Byron is going to suck.
And even though he did pretty good at Talladega last year, my man Bowman is going to end up going flippity doo, I think, in a big one.
Wow, we have a big hate boner for the Hendrick cars.
We didn't even mean to. This wasn't planned. I promise y'all.
No, we
It
never
wasn't
planned this. We never tell each
planned
other
anything.
our picks.
Yeah, we never
So-
planned anything.
Dark horse picks. Who we got?
It's kind of hard to do a dark horse because everyone in here is supposed to be good by way of qualifying for it.
You just take who is less good.
Yeah, just do so that's good. Let me see. I'd say a dark horse for this race. You know what? Hold up. Let me pull up the schedule just to make sure.
All right, while you're doing
Thanks,
that,
man.
Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say Austin Dillon. He's a dark horse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would.
I'll say
definitely-
Austin Dillon too. I'll say Austin Dillon.
Wow, I am going against the grain.
No.
I'm going Eric Almirola. He runs well at plate tracks or super speedways, as they are now correctly known as super speedway races. And he's somebody who struggled a lot last year, looking for redemption. Because let's be honest, you look at his 2018 to his 2019, not so good. I think that Eric Almirola is going to be somebody who is a dark horse, and honestly, I would like to see Almirola win. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Well, it's funny you say that. I wasn't going to use him as dark horse, but he is my pick to win the Clash this year.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. I'd say my winner for this year's Busch Clash, correct? Just want to make sure. Busch
Clash.
Okay. Yep. The Busch Clash. It's back. It's back to tradition. I love it. My pick for this year's Busch Clash, I'd say, this is probably a boring pick, but I'd say Harvick. I mean, he's not necessarily terrible at these restrictor plate tracks. Like, I feel like he runs into some bad luck from time to time, but I mean, he does have a history with this race, though. I mean, when he was with RCR, I felt like he won the Budweiser, the previously named Budweiser Shootout every single season. It seemed like for a while there, and just won nothing else the rest of the year. So, worst case scenario, Harvick has at least one win in the Clash this year. So, Harvick.
Let's see. I'm the only one of us who is not picking a Ford to win.
That's right.
Eric got Blaney. You got Danny has Almirola, and you got Harvick, Darian. So I think a Busch is going to win the Busch Clash.
Ooh.
Which Busch do you think I'm talking about, though?
Both. It's going to be a tie.
Kurt.
All right, you think Kurt?
Okay, Kurt probably.
Well, what do you think, chat? Kurt or Kyle?
Is it Kurt or Kyle?
Kurt or
put it in the
Kyle?
chat really quick. Spam it really quick.
Kurt or Kyle? Let's see.
Let's
I know
see.
that Jake is going to pick Kyle.
Yeah, let's see. All right, so I put it in there. All right, we got a Kurt, Kurt or no, Kyle.
Oh, so I'd say Kurt.
No.
Kurt sounds like the start of like a White Stripes song.
Yeah.
While they're still picking, I just want to say Corvette Racing 48. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He said the Clash needs to be on Saturday night again. Also, picking Harvick to win. I agree. It needs to be back on Saturday night.
It does. Yeah. I guess they want to go with a more traditional feel, I guess, still. But I would love it back on Saturday night just because I grew up with that. So it would be nice.
So, Jarrett, Kurt, or Kyle?
I just saw Jake's comment, Kurt. I'm going Kurt. I think Kurt Busch is gonna win.
You failed.
I knew Jake was gonna. See, it's on a little bit of a delay, so Jake's. But again, you better pick the right one.
Yeah. Now he's gonna.
You probably heard right as I said it.
Yeah, probably. Oh man, but no,
you're gonna kick my ass when we get to the track.
Hey, we got a super chat. We got you already read that one. Never mind. My bad. Good job, Darian. Again.
Hey, Danny, you got super chat. Oh, who?
You already read that one. My bad.
Oh, there's a threat in the chat here.
There's a
Oh,
what?
that's all right. I had someone threaten to kill me in my chat or in my comments for the NASCAR is dead video. It was awesome.
Oh, you got threatened?
Yeah.
Why are y'all threatening us?
They clearly didn't even watch the video.
You take it too seriously.
Too serious. Chill. We're just making videos.
I find it funny, man. Most of the people,
it is funny.
99% of the people are 99.99 whatever 9% of the people are awesome. But those ones that take it over the line, man, I tell you what, it's
I'd say
it feels good to report them.
Yeah, I'd say about 99.9999999% of the community is
Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey.
Of course, everyone who watches the NASCAR podcast is great, and we love you all. So
yes, of course, love you.
Virtual hug.
Yes, virtual hug.
That did not look as horrible as the virtual handshake.
Yes.
Blow kiss. Too far.
Now you're making it weird because I was looking right at you when you did that. So.
That's on you, fool. That's not me. What the hell? How am I supposed to know that?
It feels good to be back.
I love this show.
Anything else we need to talk about? Other than that really nice shirt you got on there, Jarrett?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's talk about that shirt. Is it for sale? Can I buy it?
There's an idea I had for this, and it was that each of us should, if we elect to, make one of these shirts. And what I did on the back is I put my logo. So each one has an individual logo on the back. So if people want them, let us know in the chat, and we might be able to make it happen. This is a one-time thing, like specifically just for me. Same with, I also have a Stallion Duck shirt. I'm so happy with that. Nobody gets that's not an Avenged Sevenfold fan.
He always talks about that shirt.
Is that like a dry fit material or is it a t-shirt?
It's like it's a t-shirt, but it's like one of those like premium ones. Like I go for the best, man.
The best.
And it feels so good. And this thing here, the logo is like it's almost like it's just sort of stitched in. Same with like if you do this stuff on custom ink, theirs are amazing.
Really quick. We almost forgot
enough ARCA, guys.
Let's do it. Come on. It's opening weekend for ARCA in America. Come on, bro.
I have to look up the entry list.
Yeah, what's the entry list? Is Bobby Gerhardt on the entry list?
Not this year, unfortunately. I wish he was though.
I always rooted for him.
Yeah,
I just like
Daytona Beast.
Wait.
Just saying Bobby Gerhardt was fun to say.
Yeah.
Wait, who'd you ask was in Daytona?
No, Bobby Gerhardt's not in running this year.
He actually had a heart attack, so he's not racing.
Yeah, so unfortunately he's not racing. But Haley Deacon's in it. She's making her ARCA Series debut this weekend.
Well, then there's my pick. Haley wins.
Yeah, there you go. Haley wins.
What is the entry list? I want to see what it is.
Decker's in it. That's gonna be fun.
Wait, who is she racing for?
Oh, Rick Ware. Rick Ware, I think. Or no. Ken Schrader. Sorry. It's the 52. It's ARCA. Yes, Ken Schrader.
Well, that's a decent car, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully she runs.
I wish the best for her, but I'm totally making that get off the track shirt.
If we're gonna make it. Yeah.
And we didn't really mention this. She's racing for Nice Motorsports this year on a very part-time schedule. And in my opinion, this is a make or break here. If she wrecks that truck every time, then she's done.
Yeah, no, this is, and I don't know, maybe with the part-time schedule, she might run better. We'll see.
I'll pick this guy just because I want to see the NASCAR world freak out. I'm picking Riley Herbst. I want to see him win.
Just for the reaction. No, Kamikaze.
I don't have
Kamikaze's
anything
gonna go
against
off.
the guy.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against the guy at all. I'll just be
After-
honest.
Yeah, I really don't either. And after his run at Talladega, I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
So I'll go with Riley Hurts.
Local kid from Vegas. Hopefully, he gets the job done. So
I don't have anything against the guy.
Which I don't know him behind the scenes. I've heard some people say there might be stuff about him behind the scenes, but I haven't had a chance to really interact with him. So I can't say that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we don't wish ill will on anybody on the show. Just FYI.
We never do.
We just make jokes mercilessly about him.
We pretty much just joke about him 24/7.
We treat everyone with the same respect that we would want, but if someone
You don't have to
if someone
respect me.
treats us bad, we assume that's the way you want to be treated. So
You don't have to respect me.
Yeah. So basically, just don't be a dick. just straight up.
yeah.
That's blunt and straight to the point. That's a good way. I think that's a good way to end. So should this be something we do every week? Is that right as we go into the outro, I just blow into the Dale call?
There you go. Yep. Go ahead.
So
do your thing.
Danny, say what you want. Say what stuff you need to say, and then just give me a signal. Just be like,
guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. This will be available to go back and rewatch if you missed anything. If you missed the Anthony Alfredo interview, it'll be at the beginning. Look forward to coming back whenever this show is back on this channel. Next week we should be on Darian's channel.
Yep. Next week
Darian?
we are. Yep. Our special guest. I went all out for the first episode of 2020 on Black Flags Matter. So returning to the show is going to be both David Land and Jagger Jones. So we got two heavyweights coming back to the podcast, bro. I don't know when Jagger will be on. I don't know if we want to have him on sooner or later, but he will definitely be on. And hell, maybe I think David might be on the whole time. So we'll see.
Sounds good. Yeah, and follow Jagger on TikTok too.
Yeah, on TikTok and Twitter too. Yeah, he's still trying to get his plans together for 2020. So hopefully by next week, he'll have official word on what his plans are for this year.
That's going to be fun.
He does plan on going for the ARCA West Championship this year. He finished second last year to Derek Kraus in the K&N Championship. And, Derek Kraus, he's no slouch, man. He's pretty good. And Jagger beat Haley Deegan, too. I mean, Haley Deegan's getting all this hype. And, Jagger Jones is one of those underrated prospects. And, plus the name, too. Jagger Jones is so...
That's just a racing name, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just the marketing possibilities. And if I ever work in some sort of PR for him, I'm definitely putting that out there. Yeah, definitely got to put the name out there everywhere for sure. But yeah, he'll be on next week.
You just know someone's going to make a t-shirt and say he's got the moves like Jagger.
Yeah. Hey, Jagger, get on that. He does sell t-shirts. Get on that shirt.
We need to wrap it up. Ready?
All right. Bye, guys.